Hi guys, it's Jen with Card Zen by Jen, and I wanted to do a little video about how I put together the tissue box. I did make, so this is a cute tissue box cover, and if you take this apart, I put a little bit of Velcro on the sides just to keep the lid down. If you take this apart, you have a box of tissues inside, and there's the inside of your tissue box. This is reusable. All you have to do when your tissues are done, you just easily lift off the lid and replace your tissues, and you are good to go. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. I did create templates for you, and you'll see on my site I have this is template number 1. This is for the sides. You are going to need 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock. You're going to need to do 2 of these. So you'll see where you're going to do your score lines, and you'll see where you're going to do your cut lines. So you'll need 2 of those. And then for the lid, you are going to need another piece. I did this on white paper just so that it was easier to show you where those cut lines and score lines are. This is going to be 6 7/8 by 6 7/8, and you're going to score it 1 inch on all sides. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. But to get started, we are going to need 3 pieces of the 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock. So 3 pieces, any color you choose. I will tell you that if you do the white, please make sure that you use the thick white cardstock. Do not use just the regular basic white. Use the thick basic white cardstock. It does tend to hold up a lot better than the regular white does. For my tissue box today, I wanted to do a red one because I'm getting ready for the holidays. So the other thing that you are going to need is your scoring table. If you don't have one of these and you use the score on your trimmer, that's fine too, but I have found, I don't know why I held out for so long, but that score works perfectly. The other thing that you're going to need is a die to be able to cut the hole in the top of the lid of your tissue box. I prefer using the largest oval in the stitch shapes dies, but if you have another oval or another shape that you would like to use, you can certainly do that. So we're going to get started, and according to the template that I put out for you, we are going to start with one of our pieces, and we are going to lay this landscape, and we are going to score at 4 3/4, and then we are going to score at 9.5. We are going to flip our paper over, and we are going to score at 5 1/4. All right, so we've done that for one. Oops. My fingernails aren't long enough to pick up the paper anymore. So we did that for one. Now let's bring in the other piece, and we're going to do it again. Again, 4 3/4 and 9.5. Flip it, and we're going to do 5 1/4. All right. There we go. So I am going to cut my piece for my lid so that we can work on that at the same time. And I have to go off camera for just a moment to be able to grab this. There we go. So we are going to cut this piece at 6 7/8. and then again at 6 7/8. There we go. And that is all that we need to do with our trimmer. So that's going to go back where it belongs. All right, so now I want to score, bring my score back in here. So now I want to score my lid, and we're going to do 1 inch on every side. So I'm going to do, oops, I was using the wrong side there. 1 inch on every side. When you're using your scoring tool, if you've ever wondered why you have 2 different sized heads on it, the smaller one is for scoring cardstock. The larger one is for scoring your DSP, Designer Series paper, any paper that would be a lighter paper, because you don't want to go through the paper, obviously. All right, so we're going to score this on all sides. There we go. Our scoring is done. So I'm going to put my Simply Scored away and create some more space here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 pieces. These are going to be our sides, right? We need 4 sides for this. So these are going to be our sides. And we are going to take them, and according to our template, we need to cut here, here, and here. This is going to be the bottom. These 2 pieces, this is going to be your bottom, and then these are going to be your sides. Cutting a straight line on camera is not always easy. But again, this is the bottom of your box. So if it is not perfectly straight, it is fine. It's okay. I always try to remind myself this is a craft. It is not a perfection. And we will make mistakes. All right, so there's piece number 1. I'm going to do the same thing with piece number 2. Get rid of that. There we go. All right. So now that we have our 2 pieces there, I'm going to now cut our lid. And again, according to our template, our lid is going to be cut just here, 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 here. So just 4 small cuts on this, just so that we can assemble the lid. Turn it around. There we go. So that's done. So before we go too much further, we do want to make our oval in the lid so that we can pull our tissues out. It doesn't do any good if we can't get our tissues out of there. So now the width of your embossing machine is 6 inches. So obviously this is 6 7/8. We are going to need to go ahead and fold these in on the sides. And when we make our oval, we're going to fold these in, and then we are going to put our oval just right here in the center so that it doesn't cut through any of our pieces here that are going to be the sides of our lid. You are going to need a little bit of tape because this will move around on you because of the fact that you have those side pieces that are being folded in. It will move around on you. So I'm gonna de-stickify my tape a little bit so that it doesn't rip off my cardstock. I have done that before. It's always lovely when that happens. So you're gonna eyeball that, get it as close to the center as you possibly can. The old me would have had a measuring tape out here and measuring this and making sure that I got it perfectly justified in the center. The new me, not so much. Not so much. All right, there we go. I'm going to go over to my embossing machine. I'll be right back. All right, so I am back. I'm going to carefully take my tape off. Oh, and I did rip it a little bit, but that's okay. That's all right. We're not going to worry about it right now. Not going to worry about it. All right, so I'm going to score the other sides. My bone folder. I'm going to score the sides. Good. You can see how this lid is starting to come together now. There we go. All right, we are in business. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is you can take your Tombow glue or you can take your Stampin' Seal Plus, whichever one works better for you. Or you can use tear and tape if you really would rather use the tear and tape. That's fine as well. And we are just going to put it on our flaps. Come in. Make sure that you are lined up. And you're just creating the lid for your box. Do the same thing on the other side. A little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus. I do a lot of 3D projects, so Stampin' Seal Plus has really become my friend. But it has its moments. There's times where I prefer to use my Tombow glue just to have that little bit of give where I have a few seconds to get things lined up where I need to get them lined up at. So there we go. There's our lid. Let's put our box together. So we are going to need to use our bone folder. Take this one out of here for a second. It's a beautiful fall day in central Pennsylvania, and the leaves have turned a gorgeous, gorgeous color. But now it's so windy out at our house today. I'm afraid all of the leaves are going to be off the trees within the next week here. So when you're folding this and you're going to put this together, this extra piece here is really helpful in grabbing onto that other side, this side. So what I want you to do is we're going to fold one of these. We're actually going to do them both the same way. So we're going to fold in and in. So when you grab your other one, make sure that you also fold in on that side and in on the bottom. First time I did this, I did one way and the other way and totally messed myself up and had to start over again. All right, there we go. So now we have our two pieces, which are identical. And the way we're going to line this up is you're going to piece this piece together. See this extra flap here? This extra flap. So for your side, you were just going to piece it perfectly together to line it up. and that's going to get you that perfect edge there. So I'm going to put some tape on that. Okay. Let's see if I can line this up without getting it. It's harder to do when my head can't be right above it. There we go. Perfect. There we go. All right. So now we have our other piece. And if you flip this over, again, this is the trick of the trade here. If you flip this over now, you have this folded in, this should come right down exactly where it was, because both of our pieces of paper are the same size. So let's grab I had been thinking about making these for over a year, and I finally got around to it, and I went online and I found somebody already had a template and already had it all ready to go. I was so excited. I went, I put it together, and I thought, okay, this works great. And then I went to put my tissue box inside of it, and it wouldn't fit. So apparently between 2019 and 2022, the size of tissue boxes has changed, and I could not fit any tissues in that one. So I had to do some math. And I keep telling my friends and family that I think I've done more math in paper crafting than I ever have. So we are going to now go down to the bottom. So again, these are your sides. We're going to go down to the bottom, and we're just going to fold this together. It's just going to go just together. Super easy, super easy. This is where I'm going to use a little bit of that Tombow glue. So we're just going to put some glue here. And then we are going to put some glue here and some glue here. Now, do not worry. It's okay. Just fold them all over and let them come in and create your bottom. Hold on to it for just a second. Let the glue start to set. We're going to flip it over. Flip it over. We're just going to put pressure from the inside. There we go. So just let that glue set a little bit, because we did put a lot of glue in there. So there's your box. And here's your lid. And it fits perfectly right down over. Now, when I made this box, I decided to do a decorative opening for this one. And because I did that, the opening to get my tissues out was a little bit smaller. So what I did was, so that whenever you pulled on the tissue, you didn't pull the lid up with it, I added a little bit of Velcro. You can see them on the sides. I added some Velcro, and I added it on both sides as well. It was super simple to do. If you need a little bit of Velcro to keep your lid on, go ahead and do that. If not, the other designs that I had with the ovals allowed plenty enough room to be able to get your tissues out without it pulling up. But if you would like the stability of the Velcro, I just used these Velcro fastener dots. They were super cheap. I think I even got them at the dollar store, to be honest with you. So try that if you would like a little bit more stability. So now that you've done that, you can decorate this any way you would like to. So on this one, I used, take the lid off of this again for a second. So on this, I put designer series paper the whole way around it. The whole way around. And then I used that oval. You can use the oval that you punched out from the lid, and you can reuse that and create a little design here if you'd like. Or just if you have a really beautiful designer series paper that you want to let that do the talking for you, then go for it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope you like making these. The whole reason I started doing this was because They started making the tissue boxes in these horrifying colors and designs, and they don't match anybody's living room or bathroom. And I just can't look at it anymore. So tissue boxes are the way to go for me, and the porcelain ones are just too expensive. So again, if you have any questions, it's Jennifer with Card Zen by Jen. You can email me at cardzenbyjen@yahoo.com. Or feel free to message me on Facebook at Card Zen by Jen. If you like stamping, please join my Facebook group, Stamping with Card Zen by Jen. And I'll be sharing some tutorials and everything there for you as well. Have a great day.